This one is a difficult one, and I don't know how many people heard this over the weekend, but there's been a bit of uproar over Skip Bayless saying this on Fox Sports.
And I don't care what Twitter says. I don't care what anybody says. I just know what I see and did not see from little light-skinned Steph.
What did you not see the series?
There have been too many times when he got so light-skinned in the finals, I couldn't see him anymore because he turned into a ghost. He disappeared.
Wow.
He just went poof.
What?
And I'm going to play that for you again. This is Skip. And do you remember the name of the
Undisputed.
Undisputed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Undisputed.
Fox Sports 1, Undisputed.
Honestly, I've never seen the show. I have never watched it, not once. I am not a Skip Bayless fan since his First Take thing. I actually knew Skip well back in the day of my, Jim Rome TV producer day stuff. We used to put him on The Last Word quite a bit. He was a icon in Chicago as a sports writer. Skip is one of the most knowledgeable and intelligent people I have ever spoken to. But when you call Steph Curry light-skinned and you refer to him as light-skinned, I think this is a real problem.
And I don't care what Twitter says. I don't care what anybody says. I just know what I see and did not see from little light-skinned Steph.
What did you not see the series?
There have been too many times when he got so light-skinned in the finals, I couldn't see him anymore because he turned into a ghost. He disappeared. He just went poof.
Man, that's hard to listen to.
It's a problem.
But Jake, so the question is, should he be fired for that?
Yeah, unequivocally, no doubt about it, he should be fired for that. And I think that this is the problem with Hot Take Show. This is the problem. This is the only thing that separates First Take from Undisputed is that you got guys like JJ Redick who go on there and they bring well thought out arguments. They bring, factual based arguments. And that's the thing that I think separates First Take from Undisputed. Undisputed is two guys in Sharp and Skip going back and forth, and it just sounds like they're yelling at each other. And this is what happens. And I think a big part of me thinks that Fox just does this show to try to stay in the news cycle when they don't have a major sporting event on the network. And that's a problem because you're going to get guys like Skip Bayless saying things like this. And I think absolutely this is racist. He is a middle-aged white man saying this, which is a huge problem. And you're doing it on national TV. It's a problem. And he's going to issue an apology, and then we're all going to forget about it. And hey, if that's our culture, I guess it is what it is. But I think no doubt about it, he should be fired for this.
Yeah, I think that there is quite a bit of consternation about this. And by the way, coming up here in 2 minutes, we have NBA breaking news for you. But this Skip Bayless thing is a big deal. And I think the thing that really stands out to me most is this is what we tolerate in this country. And when we start allowing, a 90-year-old white guy to call Steph Curry a light-skinned black guy, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It shows a complete lack of empathy and caring and desire to be good at what you do. Calling Steph Curry a light-skinned anything is lazy. Calling Steph Curry a light-skinned anything is racist. Mm-hmm. Skip Bayless should be fired for this. And I agree with Jake 100%. This right here is what's wrong with Hot Take TV. And I understand that it is an absolute battle. I totally understand that Fox is behind the eight ball when it comes to their competition with ESPN. But I also understand Skip Bayless and Fox Sports owes us far more than this.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless and Fox Sports know better than this. I think the problem here is Skip Bayless went too far. And there's no way to apologize for calling Steph Curry light-skinned. There's no way to apologize and say it was a mistake. Because it wasn't a mistake. This was stream of consciousness from Skip Bayless.
Yeah, it was intentional.
By the way, I also think this is exactly what Fox Sports and Skip Bayless want us to do.
Yep.
And maybe we're falling into that. But by the way, this is why I don't watch that show on that network.
Yeah.
Because what am I getting from it? Even in football season, what am I getting from it? This is why I also agree what you said about JJ Redick. I think JJ Redick does a very good job on ESPN. I think he and guys like Dan Orlovsky, they're the future of television. They're the future of sports opinion programs. not guys like Skip Bayless, not guys like Stephen A. Smith. They don't belong on TV.
Well, and I think one of the best things we've seen recently is J.J. Redick and C.J. McCollum taking Stephen A. to the woodshed over some of the things that he said. That was one of the best segments that I think we've seen in some time. And that's the problem, again, with Undisputed. You don't have that dynamic at play where, you essentially have a round table feel and Stephen A. will say one thing and then J.J. and whoever's sitting next to him on any given day will go after him for that if they disagree with it. And that is why ESPN, to me, is better. That's why ESPN is the next level, because they understand, okay, there's a line. There's a line in the sand. We want to walk up to that line, but we're unwilling to cross that line and call somebody a light-skinned. That's not cool, man.
That's crazy.
That is racist. That is everything that's wrong with it.
But will Fox do anything about it?
No, they won't. What they'll do is Skip is going to issue an apology at some point today. Maybe he has and I missed it, but I don't think he has. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have a hard time seeing him do that.
Skip will.
You think he'll apologize for
this? Yes,
Wow.
because the reason he will the reason he will is because of public reaction. There's no doubt. I think he will issue an apology.
And there has been, and I think that's a really good point, because there has been quite a bit of public reaction to this.
They don't apologize when it's not a big deal. If it's not trending on Twitter, we're not apologizing for it. If it is trending on Twitter, we're gonna. It's almost like like do it and ask for forgiveness later. That's their strategy.
Are we making too much out of this?
I don't think we are. I don't think we are. There was a famous Jordan Clarkson moment early in his career when dealing with Kobe, when he was on the Lakers. Everybody knows this moment. Kobe told Jordan Clarkson one night that he was, at halftime, that he was going to the rack like a light-skinned. And that's why that goes around in NBA circles, because everyone wants to repackage it as a Kobe reference.
Yes.
The difference is Kobe Bryant, I got news for you, is Kobe Bryant, and he's black, and he can say that to another black man in an NBA locker room. They're not on national TV. Kobe is not a middle-aged white man who frankly lacks credibility and just runs things out there. That's the problem. So there's no way to spin this positively. You called a black man, by the way, one of the most popular and relevant athletes right now, a light skin. That's a problem, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that 100%. And I'm struggling with this.
He should be fired.
Jeremy Bolton says Skip Bayless should have been fired 20 times over. I would agree with that.
Agreed.
Dop Hop says, couldn't tell in the clip, but did Sharp challenge that phrasing at all? Well, let's play it again for you. This is Undisputed on Fox Sports. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, and here is Skip Bayless calling Steph Curry light-skinned.
And I don't care what Twitter says. I don't care what anybody says. I just know what I see and did not see from little light-skinned Steph.
When you gonna see the series?
There have been too many times when he got so light-skinned in the finals, I couldn't see him anymore because he turned into a ghost.
Do you see how casual he is with it? That's my thing. He's just casual with it. It's not like
it's so easy.
It's just easy. It's comfortable. It's almost like it's who he is as a person. It almost like that's what I have trouble with. I mean,
I really hope, and I don't think we are, and I think we try to be very cognizant and aware of what we say, but I really hope we're not overreacting to this. Obviously I'm not offended by it. I'm frustrated by it because I think it is weak. I think it's easy. I think it's the easy play. So I'm not offended by it. I just think it's not highbrow. It's not intelligent. It's not well thought out. You're a racist. This was easy.
Light-skinned Steph.
You were talking off the top of your head, Skip. And when your stream of consciousness, if you're a guy that uses the N-word's coming out.
Yeah.
If you're a guy who looks at Steph Curry and thinks he's a light-skinned bum or whatever it is you think of Steph Curry, you called him light-skinned on television, and you didn't do it once. You did it twice. And usually when that happens, what that means is, and trust me, when I've said things I don't like that I've said, there's an instinct for you to go and double down on that. Mm-hmm. And then what did he do? He called him Casper the Ghost, as like he was trying to say, well, you're disappearing, light-skinned, I confused you with a ghost.
Yeah.
Let me spin this out of racism. And because when he said it, he probably was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Like, uh-oh, that didn't sound good.
light-skinned Steph.
When did you not see the series?
There have been too many times when he got so light-skinned in the finals, I couldn't see him anymore because he turned into a ghost.
Like, what are you doing,
That's him
bro?
trying to save himself.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not playing that
Big
again.
Dog O-Town with a $5 tip today. Thank you, Big
Thanks,
Dog. He
bro. I
says, no
appreciate
comment, love the show. Exactly.
Shout to Mobamba.
Stephen A. has got off scot-free on many occasions as well. They need to be more accountable over their professionalism. Totally agree.
But what's the difference? And I'm not trying to be any type of way. Stephen A. is a black man. He can say things that Skip Bayless cannot say.
No, he can joke about Steph being light-skinned and get away with it.
Yes, because he's black.
Skip Bayless cannot.
Yeah.
Because Skip is I don't know how old Skip is, probably 70 years old. He's a 70-year-old.
67. Let me
He's a
Google it.
multi-millionaire, 70-year-old, 70 years old, Mrs. Monty is telling me in the background. He's a 70-year-old, light-skinned, white guy that's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Skip, I can tell you, Skip is a Porsche guy. He lives in a house in Malibu. Skip is a 70-year-old white guy that's a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
He can't get away with calling with calling Steph Curry light-skinned. He can't. Big Dog, appreciate the tip. DW2CB says, replace Skip with Team Monty. Hell yeah.
Hey, man.
DW2CB also says, what is Rudy Gobert's skin tone like for you, Skip? Exactly right.
Seriously.
Notice he doesn't. Yeah, anyway. Gabe Ledley says, what the F does Steph's skin tone have to do with anything? Skip is the worst. Surprised he didn't just finish the job and call him boy, too. Awful.
Yeah,
Woo.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.